Our final game of Erangel for this week at least, and let's see what it has to deliver, because the previous game, and we were just discussing this, it's not like it was major hype or just insane plays, it was just really well played. Like, it was just kind of like a smooth game of just how it all went down.
I kind of compare it to choreographed dance.
Yeah, I can get with that.
Really nice and clean, nothing super flashy, and talk about nothing flashy. PG-18, you called it, jumping up onto the top spot with 122 points, 10 ahead of Milky Way.
They are going to be loving life. What a turnaround for these guys. You change a player, things could certainly go wrong, things could certainly slow down, but not for them at all. They ended Group B last week looking like a different team. They were certainly stepped it up to make sure they could qualify, and now you're sat at the very top currently after week 1.
And then Airstation, Mike, with a nice, safe result in this first game, getting 11 points. They moved up on the 3rd. And even ELGIGANTEN, they also moved up from 7th to 5th. So it's just this nice progression for a couple of these teams, aiding their average points per game, securing their spots. I know there's still plenty of games to go, but when you hit that kind of nice double digits, when you hit that nice average, it's just adding to that security.
Now, let's see if Milky Way decide to go Georgia Pole this time, or if they'll go for Stalber again. Well, they've jumped out already, so yep, they're going to go back. So I'm guessing maybe if they get a plane that's more towards the northeast side of this, that they jump for Stalber. And then the rest of the time, they'll stick with Georgia Pole.
Maybe, that was the first game in the final stage, as far as I know, that they've dropped in Stalber.
No, it was, definitely was.
And it really didn't work out for them. Part of that was kind of their rotations were either a little bit late, or it was just a little bit kind of not proactive enough in some way. It didn't help with the circle being so down southwest for sure, so that's always an element. But when you can't control it, you've just got to try and react as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Elgig will just move on up. They'll be like, oh, you're back. Okay, fair enough. We'll have to deal with that for today. No problems.
They're like, yeah, we just went on holiday for a bit, you know.
Just wanted a break. Oh, no. An octave?
What?
Huh? Oh, wow. Unity there as well. Unity on top of I didn't even spot it.
Yeah.
I was so focused on Milky Way, I didn't have a clue. And an octave now fists Marcelek to death. Give him a 1-2 light punch up, and Elgig are going to be thinking, what on earth is going on?
That's
I was so focused on Milky Way, I didn't even notice that Unity have left military base completely, and they've gone all the way up for North Georgia Pole to fight it off with Elgig. That is brave, and that is scary. And now the circle's gone out far east. Stalber's included in it. Mansion's pretty much the central location overall.
And Orange has got on a boat straight away, leaving Snoopy and the rest of the Unity team kind of to deal with ELGIGANTEN. That's honestly that's really kind of that's really surprised me. But you got to say, Unity kind of caught ELGIGANTEN off guard.
Why not? Hey, that gets you an extra kill to start things off with. Orange, I believe, has got himself in a boat and he's going to go for a drive. All on his own, though. He's left the rest of them behind.
Also, MOORPHEUS has actually gone further away from George Pole, kind of realizing, okay, look, there's a 13 there. I'm just going to distance myself as Uni has gone out of the boat to mainland, try and go into Sarky. But let's talk about the circle. It's gone up kind of northeasterly. There's about 30% water, lots of Yasna, Stalbar area. Maybe Milky Way should have headed towards Stalbar. Would have been a prime location, but such as luck. And then the likes of Tempest, Tornado Energy outside Milta, there inside the circle.
Orange rocking the Banana Man. Running forward.
Reminds me of Bananas in Pajamas. Remember that show?
It was brilliant. No, you know about Banana Man?
No.
In PUBG?
No.
There was this guy that basically just chased Shroud around, and he was dressed like Banana. They named him Banana Man. You're gonna have to go watch it on YouTube. It's hilarious. This guy just followed him and followed him and followed him for ages. And I think someone can correct me in Twitch chat. Remember to tweet me and let me know if I did get this one wrong. But I think Shroud got banned on his PUBG account for a little while because rather than kill Banana Man one time, Banana Man put on some voice like, "Hi, I'm Banana Man," like some really like little. It was just a fake voice anyway. Yeah. And then he jumps in Shroud's car and they just drive around together, even though they were solo. So he got in trouble for not killing him. I think it was. Yeah, I think that was how it went down. But that's why I mentioned the Banana Man thing. I just realised you might not be aware of that at all.
I really didn't know that. Like, I've watched plenty of kind of like PUBG clips and streams and stuff like that, but I did not know about that. I'll definitely be looking.
Well, it's not competitive PUBG. It's the streamer PUBG. It's the public games where you get flooded with hundreds of people trying to join your lobby and they just seem to run at you. That doesn't happen, luckily, in competitive. We've got the good action here.
The professionals, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, looking at kind of the west coast of the circle, there is a good few teams that they've all generally safely made their way across. Tornado Energy have Airstation Mike just up the north side of them on top of the hill. So that could be a tough place for Tornado Energy. They might have to kind of dance around Airstation Mike and maybe even head towards Milta Power Plant just to avoid the initial trouble.
And if you're Tornado, you just need to ensure you're playing together as a team from this point, because last time 2 players got picked off early, the other 2 couldn't come in to save them, and then instantly you're on the back foot and it's hard to play catch-up.
Talking about playing catch-up.
Oh, wow. Oh, Faultlessly. Oh, that was never meant to be. Everyone on Moops was just... That was like having multiple machine guns all going at the same time. These guys were not allowing him to escape. That's an easy 1 kill for Moops to pick up. And first thing I've got to ask is where are the rest of BetterLuckNxTime?
They're rotating now past Potato Hill on their vehicles, but they are a team known to kind of be a little bit split up in the early stages of the game. But that's always tough when you're kind of rotating in the path of where all the other teams on the west coast, where you have a cluster of these teams, or they do generally look to be together early on. It's just the way, and with the rotations that kind of goes on for these teams. And yeah, look at Fate and Arctic's potentially going to get caught out by Northern Lights.
BetterLuckNxTime currently in 16th place, and it's just not looking any better for them, is it? They went out in 14th on the first game here today. They've already lost 1 player on rotation. They now got themselves in a compound, but they're firing off against OK Bro here and some of the other Northern Lights players. Actually, it's all 4 of them. I didn't see Deep and Perfectix on top of each other there. It means if you're BetterLuckNxTime, you know the moment you try and even get anywhere, these guys have just got your names and numbers marked.
Yeah, and the good thing for them is that they hold a compound, and Northern Lights are a little bit out in the open, so it could favour and help BetterLuckNxTime's cause for now. They still don't want to exit that compound in my eyes, but at least there's a higher chance with the teams around them that they're not going to get shot up by Peaky even just a little bit.
John, when you mentioned Potato Hill before as well, I'll tell you a funny story. Yeah. My friend, he's not really like into esports or gaming in general, but he liked PUBG. So we got him into PUBG. And I basically told him, I was like, oh, Potato Hill is such a great place to drop. Like, you should always drop. So he literally, I marked it. He dropped on Potato Hill, realized there was no loot, and then died within the first few minutes of the game. So if you ever want to troll any of your friends while playing PUBG, just tell them. Because they look at it, right, and they think, oh, it's Potato Hill. It's got a name, right? So it must be something decent there. Nope, it's just a hill, mate.
Just looks like a potato.
Yep, just a hill with a potato. He was very unhappy. The rage was key.
I don't know whether I can trust you anymore, James.
No, I don't. If we're not playing like a proper, as in team game, as in we're ranked. Like if we play ranked or something like that, and I'm going to try hard. But I mean, if we're just playing public games, don't trust me. Just don't trust me at all. One time, I went to approach. So I believed I was in James Bond clearly, and this was a clipped stream of mine that I did, and people just were loving it for some reason. I went to cross Military Bridge. I got overexcited when I saw these people in front of me, and I jumped out my car while going full speed. I did run one guy over, but I was already dead at this point because I jumped out the car.
I think we've kind of all done that, in fairness.
I was, you know when you see a bunch of players in front of you?
Yeah.
And I mean, none of them were facing me. So I was just like, this is it. I'm going to get out. Had Mini. I was just going to tap them away. I'm thinking, yeah, I've got godlike aim. And you know, in my mind, I'd already set the tone of this is going to be sick. And I just died. Just jumped out of the car while it was going.
Team Arm producer in the back.
Yeah, he's probably just dying.
In our ear. It says like, hello darkness, my old friend.
Ask Toby as well. Never put me on a bike. I cannot use the bikes.
Really?
They don't work. Yeah, they're super fast. They're super good. But I am just not like, I will always flip a bike or spin a bike or just give me the buggy. I'm happy. I'm a strange person, Cormac.
It's okay. It's okay. Part of the reason why.
Oh, wow.
As that circle shifts down south.
Super south as well. YMCA are pretty much dead center at that point. Got Moops alongside them.
If Airstation might, they kind of gone for a bit of a 2-2. Two people in Mansion, two people in the hill above prison. They're joining back together because they realise we do want to stay together as a team. Team Moops, they have YMCA rotating down.
Cora. Moops, they rolled straight up on YMCA who were trying to take into shelter. But they were unable to find any shelter at that point. They've lost the player straight away. Kojuti, he needs to now work out if they do want to try and fight this off. It will be a 3v4, but a few shots landed, but Double gets the headshot onto him. Sampaul is able to reply, though. Is this going to be enough? Hawkey's actually further away. He's only just getting up and he's walking, not got a vehicle.
There are also quick math to the north of them as well. There's quite a good few teams that are rotating down. Even the likes of ELGIGANTEN, although they're going across the north-west coast, so they're kind of avoiding a lot of the rotations that the likes of these teams are doing.
The nades as well. Double just got picked back up. Turbo's in such a good spot, they weren't really looking at him. They might do now, though, because he's made some noise. Another nade going forward. Hawkey, are you away? He tries to run away. No damage done. Reggie now throwing grenades up himself, and Turbo, he's run out of nades to fire back with. He really needs his teammates to help him out a bit more. They're too far back in the south. They may be trying to play the long-range game here, but with the ridge line that Moops are holding, they can just back down every single time.
Well, I'm kind of surprised Kojuti isn't maybe looking to flank around a bit more. It might not pay off for them, but at least it's making a bit of a rotation play that could pay off if Turbo Banana is being focused on by at least two members of Team Moops. So he's the focus. The focus is on where Turbo Banana are. That could give a chance for Kojuti to flank it around just a little bit more aggressively and catch Team Moops off guard.
Huge push here from Moops, though. They got the one knock in. They realized this was the time to strike. Hawkey may be down, but they've got all they need to be able to take the final member of YMCA out. Got to be careful of these other teams taking shots, though. Quickmath have realized what's going on close by. Sampulo eventually goes down, and Kojuti, he was the main focus for a while, right? In terms of he was the one further back. He was the one that had the chance to flank round them, but instead he's just had to run away. The rest of his teammates went down. Turbo took so much of that aggression, right?
Yep.
He was the one they were all looking at. This had so much chance for the YMCA players to work around a different style to fight this on, but communication clearly wasn't there to make that happen.
I think it's also just a difference between the two teams when it comes to a level of aggression. Team Moops are known to be quite aggressive when they want to be. YMCA are generally a more passive team, and there's moments for you to take control, and that was a moment for YMCA to take control, to be aggressive, to make that call, and to surprise Team Moops. But Team Moops, it took a little bit longer, but they made that call, and it paid off for them in the end.
Now we look at Tempest. They've got themselves just towards the west of prison. Airstation like quick math, Moops all around them. But where's this next circle going to pop?
I knew it was going to be hard.
Everyone goes south. I knew it. Now we're going back up north.
Yeah.
It's the runaround.
Feels bad, man. Those are definitely some annoying hard shifts for these teams. You know, you don't mind it hard shifting once, but when the hard shifts in the opposite direction a second time, it's a pain in the ass.
Unity and ELGIG right now are the smartest two teams because they're going far around the outside. Even ELGIG are opting to take blue damage to work their way up to the northern side of it. Better luck next time. They're still going up against Northern Lights. OK Bro actually finds himself getting knocked down by Diggory of Quick Math, but they did get the kills they wanted.
There is still Kizik and Arctics in those buildings across the road from them. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about this, about Northern Lights. I don't think they will. I don't think they even wanted, to be perfectly honest. They're still inside the circle. They're down to 2 players. Just play the passive game and hold out and hope the next phase goes in your favor.
Yeah, Deep's going in for some shots with the bolt. Tornado have watched Milky Way rotate past them. Tornado were taking shots at last crew, who are just above them towards the northeast.
Yeah. And Milky Way are now making some form of a safe rotation going towards the south of farm and kind of rotating up northward. It's because they're leaving a little bit longer than the likes of Uni and ELGIGANTEN. It is going to be pretty tough because the only way they're going to have an entry point into the circle on the edge is going up near where PG18 are, but at that point they're going to be pinched by them and Northern Lights.
That's the way you want to see a blow-up go. Morpheus manages to get rid of seniks. They need to do a hell of a lot more than that. They lost Marcelek straight away at the beginning of the game, right?
Yep.
Got punched into oblivion by the Unity players and they ran away. And they've kept 4 players alive and they're still in a nice spot up in the north now of the circle. Quickmath have got the compound here. They're in a 2-1 split. They've only got 3 players up in their team. Diggory's holding one on his own, not too far away.
Only a center circle.
Oh no!
Yep, this is what I was talking about. Milky Way, they didn't quite go north as I thought they would, going up against Northern Lights right now. It's going to be tough. 1, 2 knockdowns coming out by Northern Lights onto DP and Mans, as it just leaves Offstring just there on his own. iZoom is back behind him, as Offstring will look to just back off for now and hide behind a rock, try and find cover. Peak, if they can get a couple of good shots onto Northern Lights, it could turn around.
So Morpheus finds himself getting headshot down in the meantime as well. I mean, Unity and ELGIG, they were both the teams that did the same star rotation, one on the west, one on the east, now going off against each other. Offstring doing God's work. Can he do this? Can he turn this around? He only got 1 more to find, pushing up on it, but he's only got 10 bullets in the clip. This is going to be interesting. Perfectix holding himself down, and Offstring tries to shoot, but he runs out of bullets. No, the timing, the way that goes down, that is not what he wanted. iZoom comes in to finish it off, but it was just that little bit too late, and now iZoom, he has to cower and hide behind the car because he's got the BetterLuckNxTime players pushing up on him.
After all the good work Offstring did, to go down missing those shots that close feels bad, man, but you gotta say he still did great work for his Milky Way team. Northern Lights should not have lost that. I said it might have taken a couple of magical shots from Milky Way. It was a couple of magical grenades for sure, and they survive this game, but 1 man standing, and the likes of BetterLuckNxTime looking in their direction. It's going to be very, very tough.
By the way, excellent from Offstring. What a brilliant way for him to get that done. So well controlled. And when you're in the heat of the moment like that, it's so easy to forget about potentially reloading. And sadly, that's what he did as Kajoran will find himself some Tornado players rolling up on him. Moops are going to try and handle this. 2 players pushing up through the building. Can they get the revives in as well? Pressure being applied. Compot's not done yet. And he's going to straight away finish off Hawkeye. But how much more is there for him to find? He's got 20 health. Straight away pops the first aid kit. Melman's on the stairs trying to fight this out. Example goes down. This is chaos from both sides. And neither one of them is going to benefit from this. Double low on health and they're continuing to push him. He gets himself knocked down and killed off instantly. Kadoran is the only one who's still standing. Reggie's on the floor bleeding out. But will he be found? Yes, he is. And now Kadoran, despite having that 1 kill, despite being able to finish off Hawkeye, he is now outnumbered and outgunned.
They still have 6 kills. That's one kind of point of positivity for Team Moops. If they do go out in 15th place, they will go out with a good chunk of points, but they'll definitely will not want to lose this because I know what Kadoran can do. If he can find that 2v1, he will in his favor, but he's got no grenades. I did notice that. So that's something that he's going to have to kind of work around. As you see, I assume the final member of Milky Way popping off towards the Wanderer of PG18. Doesn't really care who it is. And he's got to be careful because he's covering behind a rock. You got 2 or 3 members of PG18 looking their direction. Gets taken down to 28 health. Pops a first aid straight away to try and keep his hopes alive, as there's also BetterLuckNxTime shooting in his direction. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this, James.
Yeah, no, this is rough for him to survive at all. The boom's gone down. Moon and Tab, we can see where they are, looking at the ELGIG players. Kadoran still trying to work his way into this. He may have just spotted one there. Or at least heard it for sure. If Kadoran can actually do this, that would be huge. ghostar finds Tab. Joker's still under pressure. Moon now in the house on his own as well. Both ghostar and KnorkiS trying to push around together, but KnorkiS a little bit further up front. Moon just escaped through the window. He's getting the hell out of here. He does not want to have to deal with this one. Kadoran, though, nicely done. Jokers do finally get eliminated. Moon ran straight into InsideGames. That is a rough rotation for him. He thinks, oh, okay, I can escape ELGIG, and then all of a sudden there's 2 InsideGames players waiting for him. And also, big shout out to Daniel from Challenger Mode. Awesome website that, by the way. But also, he just tweeted at us with the whole link to the Banana Man thing. So you can then check that out afterwards, Cormac.
Thank you very, very much indeed, dude. As I zoom, you got to say, like, Milky Way, he's doing a great job of surviving. Like, 2 teams have gone down in the time that he's kind of stayed alive. And I know he's still not going to be in the points, but when you think about it, it's still a step closer to get a couple of placement points for his side. But this circle shift, it kind of centered up. Only Quick Math, Tempest, and 2 members of Uni, as well as InsideGames, are inside the circle.
Ooh, Quick Math had 4 players up. I said 3 earlier, so that's all right. I must have missed one from afar, but they're in a nice spot down the south part of the circle. They've got a big compound to work from. They could be challenged quite easily, though, as Tornado, again, it's not working out well for them at all here. They're going to find themselves out in 13th place.
Oof. They kind of got in the vehicle. They went straight in. It didn't work out. They should have looked to have rotated down south and towards the east direction, as Tempest are looking for... ELGIGANTEN. Wookie start popping off. We do see Wonder connect onto Uni. InsideGames found actually Airstation. Mike that got eliminated.
It had been a quieter game at the beginning than what we saw from the previous game, but either way, now it's starting to get a really explosive there. Airstation Mike and Milky Way eventually fall. iZoom, he was ready to challenge all the time, man. He's completely on it. Even as a solo player, he was wanting to do more damage there. Now, PGA team may have won the previous game, but they got the Wanderer on the floor, and Deez has taken a fair amount of damage. They're going up against the Unity players, while QuickMath and 3D Max are fighting out in this compound as well.
Fighting over the warehouse. You see it in the picture-in-picture. The 4 members of 3D Max are outside the warehouse. Grenades being thrown over the building by QuickMath. Very cleverly done. Does not connect, but it's still nice to see that kind of grenade shot coming through.
Yeah, did a little bit of damage towards Furex. You can see he's just below for half health as he's healing up. But that's a way that you can try and force them off the sides from you. Better luck next time. Well, I can continue to say their name. It seems to be better luck next time every single time for these guys.
I think until they get that chicken dinner, you'll still say it. But
yeah, it's a name that works in many ways, isn't it?
It does.
Unless they win, it's always better luck next time. Kojoti, though, he's kept himself back behind that tree as a solo player for YMCA. He's going to have to move now, but can he potentially surprise any of these players that are waiting outside the warehouse?
I think Solar has kind of peaked him a little bit. I don't know if that's just accidental kind of... Yeah, no, Phantom and Solar, yeah, they see that he's there instantly.
There we go. End of the day for YMCA. Nearly made it in towards the top 8. A good effort considering you were solo for quite a long time there. But 3D Max, they've got that awareness.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he'd spot him out, but he did. The circles actually stayed down south, so the compound that Quick Math and 3D Max are in is still inside the circle, as well as the one that Tempest holds onto. So really 3 teams are in kind of the strongest chance right now to at least get this chicken dinner.
Unity doing very well here. They take down the Wanderer. Ubika's knocked on the floor. He's then finished off as well. Unity over these last 2 days have stepped it up. Looking stronger than what we've seen from them before, but can they keep it going? Deez and Recrent, they're split up just a bit. Recrent standing where he is. He doesn't want to move just yet. Deez was trying to flank himself away, and they've got Last Crew quite close by as well.
And it's so hard for the likes of Last Crew and PGA team because... even Unity as well, because they've got to be aware, because the second they step inside that circle, you have the likes of Tempest, Quick Math, and 3D Max looking their direction, so it's really such a pinch situation for these teams, but these prone down, finds enough stuff, confirms that kill, looking for Quizzy.
Oh, going in for the second, but Deez can't make it work. PG18 out in 8th, but still, placement points regardless for these guys. But Unity taking the fight to him, dealing the damage. If Snoopy can bring Quizzy up here, that give him a good fighting chance to stay within it with just 2 players for now. InsideGames have been with 2 players for a long time as well.
They have. They got rid of Mike.
Oh, and he did not have the health. He'd only just been revived. Beautifully timed by Pixel just then. He throws out a... I believe is that a grenade or smoke?
Smoke.
Smoke, okay. He's going to smoke up the road. That makes sense. I was about to say, if you really think there's more there, someone would have shot at you by now.
Hey, you can never be too careful in the world of PUBG, but no, smokes his way through. We see Zampeek getting taken out by 3D Max, leaving just 1. No, actually 2 members up. That's Muck and Rip. And that's part of the reason why InsideGames have smoked that road, as ELGIG do get taken out in 6th place.
So only QuickMath and 3D Max have 4 players left alive, and they're both in the same location.
And Tempest, actually.
Oh, Tempest there as well.
Tempest.
Good spot, good spot. InsideGames do go down eventually. They got a way of getting those couple of kills onto Unity. The entire northern side of this circle is empty. Tempest over towards the east. Last crew on the west. And then you've got 2 4-man squads sat on top of each other, but they can't actually see each other.
And the second either 3D Max, QuickMath, or Tempest, which they're going to have to exit away from this compound, it's flat land. Have the utility that they built up, is it going to be enough?
Well, QuickMath are loving this, right? Because the compound is still included with the circle, so they can wait for 3D Max to move.
True. And
So when this next circle pops, 3D Max have to go all guns blazing and challenge QuickMath and potentially be shot at by other teams. Tempest, in the meantime, they're working their way up north. You can see it just on the part of the map on the right-hand side, right-hand side.
Yep.
And I love this. They're sending first 2 players moving forward in vehicles, take the northern side of the circle, then the last 2 come across.
Honestly, if I was 3D Max, I'd go full send and have 2 enter from one side of the warehouse and 2 enter from the other side of the warehouse. Just go in hard, go home. There's only 4 teams left. At the end of the day, you know, you got to take a team fight into your own control. Time is against their side because the blue zone is closing. In my opinion, it's now or never.
This utility usage here is key from 3D Max. The nade goes out in Silenzo. Holding it on. Waiting it out. See the gap? He's got a small vision where he can see through it.
And I'll tell you what, I think this is where a flashbang would really come in handy. You flash into a building, go in, take him out.
So they've smoked Encelenso out, so he can't actually see whether they get in the building. So it wasn't a nade that went towards him on the first one. It was the second one that was a grenade. QuickMath doing all the damage, though. This is brilliant stuff from them. Last crew get eliminated by Hjort. They'll be out in 4th place this time around.
And 3D Max get eliminated in 3rd. Peltzig was the man of the moment. He was kind of high up. He caught out the rest of 3D Max and got knockdown after knockdown after knockdown, and the rest of QuickMath got the job
No, it's
done.
a shooting range. So much damage being done. Peltzig trying to stay alive, but he isn't going to for much longer as Clip picks him out from the car. Jupsig trying to provide some cover fire, but Tempest, they know exactly what's going on. This circle's moving, and QuickMath, they don't have the answers for this. They've lost too many players now. It's only 1 knocked player on for Tempest, but Diggory's looking to turn this around. He finds Hjort as well, and now he puts us into an even 2v2.
And now the smoke grenades are going to try and create that wall. Tempest do have a bit of the high ground on their side, and they are split up a little bit more evenly compared to QuickMath, so the shots are being fired in a more direct location of where QuickMath are. However, Jupsig with that smoke wall has been able to separate and is looking to heal up. And you got to say for QuickMath is at least they're closer to the edge of the circle.
But at least for Tempest, they've been able to bring their 3rd player up. It's only Hjort that's down on the floor, and they might be able to revive him as well. If they can get that done, that would be huge. Yeah, Hjort's been brought back. Okay, so now we're at a 4-man squad. Wookie Bookie using the supply crate to his advantage. He's got the car there as well. He's going to bundle up the smokes if he wants to. He's got 1 left to use. He's got plenty of meds as well. Jupsig is trying to put in as much work as possible to force them away, but they just don't have anywhere to turn. He took damage from the circle.
Yep.
It's not what you want to see, Jupsig. It all became too much for him. They work their way out. Diggory finds it onto Hanny. Jupsig, the only one that remains, and they can just tap away all day long. Tempest is trying to hold on to this as much as possible, and instantly Wookie finds 190 damage done. The second one comes in. 8 kills and a big win coming out for Tempest, and it is about damn time.
I did say that what was it, phase 5 or phase 6, that the 3 teams that held onto the compounds
Yeah.
were the teams that were going to come out into the top 3, and that's where it came down to. Tempest just took advantage. They did have a bit of help because 3D Max were fighting against QuickMath. It gave them time to rotate up north, as you'd pointed out, and find a good location there with the vehicles.
Yeah.
And then they were just able to pinch QuickMath.
Very different style of game between the both we've seen so far, but I liked what we saw just then from both 3D Max and QuickMath, because that was so smart in the amount of utility that 3D Max were using to push in. But even then, QuickMath, they just held the angles, they waited for it to go down. Impressive stuff across the board.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of think that 3D Max gave too much space for... 3D Max gave QuickMath too much space to kind of get onto those angles, right? Whereas if they had been a bit more aggressive, there's a chance it could have surprised QuickMath a bit more. And I did kind of say that maybe a flashbang could have paid off as well. You throw the flashbang into the building, it connects into a couple of members of QuickMath, you roll in, you get the shots off, and as a 4-man team, you get the job done. Because that's the thing, it's not like 3D Max had a disadvantage from a man point of view. They were a full squad, so that's kind of the prime time to at least take over a compound and get the better of a team fight. But they did what they did. It didn't work out in this game. It's still a great job by them.
You know what was impressive? Milky Way went out in 11th, right? And we saw what happened to them. It was very difficult, but they still managed to walk away with 3 kills. And then another one to point out is InsideGames, 6 kills, but 5 of those kills went for Pixel alone.
Yeah. And we saw that where they took down Airstation Mike. And that's kind of normally Airstation Mike have been pretty dominant in a lot of their team fights, but InsideGames shut them down in that case. We saw the grenade to take down and connect onto YMCA. And this is PG18 going up against Uni. You said Uni were looking very strong, and they proved it in this game.
Yeah, they certainly did. They walked away with 7th place, but it was 5 kills in that one. It was just the way they were able to approach fights again, even out in the open. Very unfortunate there that Pixel was able to find them both at the end, because they just got out of that fight, and InsideGames were hungry to finish it off. But Tempest, they were looking like them old selves again, and not just because they got the win, but the way they rotated out of that compound they had on the east, went to the northern side of the circle, and then went and took full control.
And we do see Airstation Mike and Jokers. The 2 teams that get 0 points, that's definitely going to hurt Airstation Mike in the overall standings, not what they would have liked to have gotten. And Tempest with those 8 kills with the 10 points, giving them 18 in total, followed by QuickMath with 12.
Very nice stuff here. It was a lot of good teams fighting this out, right? Everyone from the top 8 had put their own bit of work in, either in kills or placements when it came to it. But you got to say, for 3D Max, they probably sat there thinking, I wish we could have picked up a few more kills. Because once they got stuck behind QuickMath, they were just sat behind the warehouse. They were taking a few shots at like Last Crew and Tempest at the top, but they knew every time they took that challenge, you had to be cautious that any time a QuickMath player could come out and finish you.
It was so true. And you got to say, the kills were very evenly spread out. Like you said, like the top 8 put in the work. 8th place still getting 6 kills and 6 placement points. That's Tornado Energy. That's just going to be kind of a very even spread over the top 8 teams. But we see Pelsage with the highest damage. Like, look at that. Like, no player, and that's nothing bad against any of these players, right? But no individual player getting above 500 damage.
Yeah, everyone's putting in their own part of the work, and I think that goes to show the spread of points and kills as well. It all matches up quite nicely together, and even here with the kills, 5-4, 3-3-3-3, 2-2-2-2-2. So no one really stepping up beyond belief. Obviously, Double and Pixel, we talk about these guys quite a lot, especially Double for Moops, in just how many kills he's able to get as an individual. But end of the day, it's still a team game. It's still a squad game, and that's what matters the most, how you get those wins. Because I'm all well and good at seeing one player get 10 kills, but if you're constantly not able to get within the top 8, then it doesn't really matter.
Nope, it doesn't matter. Indeed, you're dead right. Head-to-head between Tempest and QuickMath. Very similar overall. Wookie Bookie and Peltage, 415 to 481, 3 kills each, 2 knocks. So similar. You could put multiple players in with that head-to-head, to be honest, and they'd all stand out kind of against each other, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think for Tempest, this could be the boost they needed. I need to see what they can do when it comes to Miramar now, because it's all well and good getting that win on Erangel, but it quickly turns around when we move over these maps, right?
Oh, man. And yeah, looking at Miramar, I think that's the kind of map where, out of any of these teams, Airstation Mike have kind of looked the strongest. Their 2 chicken dinners have been in Miramar, and after a 0-point game, I think they'll want to pick it up.
Well, let's see if they can turn it around. Miramar is coming up next. Go and get yourself some snacks, go to the toilet, whatever else you need to do, because we got 3 more games coming your way.